Stillwater 20 Scramble. Glad to have you here on a Friday morning, and Kyle Ray will be coming in. I thought I heard the door. That's why I was thinking that.
Oh.
We kind of have a creaky door.
Yeah.
And I can always tell them.
I heard like keys jangling or something.
Oh, okay.
Is there not somebody out there?
I don't see anybody.
Oh.
But it could be Patrick. Patrick comes in early, too. Patrick Wheeler is doing a great job here. So it could be Patrick.
Okay.
And then Kyle Ray will be on. We'll also talk United Way stuff at 9 o'clock. And then Rob with Tech Talk and Tom Dorado. And we were talking family before, and it is my mom's birthday. She listens
happy
sometimes.
birthday to your mom.
Yeah. And she is in a little town, Mountain Grove, Missouri.
There you go.
So she'll get lots of calls today.
Yeah.
You need to spread them out because there's a lot of us, and so there's everybody will call on her birthday, right?
Yeah, right.
So, well, how's your day going? Well, I've been on the phone. She won't say that, but you can imagine. Well, I could get stuff done if I wasn't answering the phone every 5 minutes. So.
I'll bet she appreciates it.
She does.
Yeah.
She does.
Yeah.
And it's tough. I mean, these times are tough when you're not really going anywhere.
Yeah.
And the church is closed down, and she runs the nursery at the church, and so she's there several times a week, and she loves that. She gets to see the little kids and stuff, and you can't be in that environment now.
Think about how fun and exciting and new and refreshing it'll be when we do get back to that.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
We're going to have to phase ourselves in.
We will.
And we are getting antsy. That's also part of it. I think we all are, well, I bet I could do that.
Yeah.
And then you have to remind yourself.
Risks are being taken.
Well, and that's natural. I mean, you do get, because I think, I've thought that too. Well, maybe we could,
People are wanting to test boundaries.
Need to hunker down.
Yeah.
So, and it's hard. It is hard. So, I went out and walked the lake for the first time in quite a while yesterday. So there were a few people out there. It wasn't packed, though.
Yeah.
And people were doing a pretty good job about, most people were by themselves. I was.
Yeah.
And it's funny because people are almost hesitant to say hi even.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, it's still an adjustment for me because, I was brought up where manners were extremely important, right? And you stand up when somebody comes into the room and you shake their hand, you look them in the eye, and you talk directly to them and you engage them in conversation and stuff, and it is hard to not shake hands, especially when I'm seeing old friends and meeting new people and stuff, and it's hard not to shake hands. It's hard not to embrace somebody, maybe a one-arm hug or something like that, because you haven't seen them for a while, and you just kind of have to stand back 6 feet and kind of wave at them, go, how are you?
Yeah.
It just feels so disrespectful and stuff, but I mean, everybody gets it.
That's what we need to do now.
Everybody gets it, so yeah.
Yeah. And we do have a lot of stuff going on this week. We're going to talk some weather, too, because and thoughts out to the folks. We had a tornadic day 2 nights ago. And what they say, 9 tornadoes? Is that what there were?
I listened to the Bryan County Emergency Management and Storm Spotters on the radio. A friend of mine sent me a link to it. Listened to it live, and then I went back and listened to the replay. And man, I got to tell you, it's tough listening to somebody's town get tore up with a tornado. Yeah, it's
and it was a steel factory, wasn't it? Steel company, and they did have shelter.
They did,
and they didn't have much time, but they did have some, and most of them were in there. And one of them, I think, was on his way to the shelter. Is that right? And then another gentleman was in his truck, I think.
Yeah, he's about 2 blocks down the road.
It's a Medill, yeah.
What was crazy is, and I have the video here, but what's crazy is the tornado started a half a block to a block away from the steel plant. And, I mean, you can see it spinning up, and you can see debris starting to fly, and you can see
So how much warning did they have?
Probably about 30, 45 seconds.
Oh, I thought it was longer now. Wow.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Not very long. And it just peeled the roof back and just got massive as it just went right on through. I don't know what all was in there, but man, there was a lot of dust that was kicked up out of that building because there's a storm spotter sitting right there watching it. I mean, he got it firsthand. He got to see it, and he couldn't follow the storm due to the fact that there was so much stuff coming out of that building.
Wow.
And anyway, when it kind of cleared where he could move down the road, he come to the truck. And he come to the truck that was turned over in the road. Yeah. So, and then you can see it. It's just massive right there.
Well, you could see the I've seen pictures of the truck, and it was just destroyed.
Yeah.
So anyway, tragic situation there.
Absolutely.
So, what do we have to look for now?
So, we had storms move through overnight that, didn't amount to much. A little bit of rain and stuff and some small hail, nothing severe at all. But this afternoon, probably around that 3 to 5 time frame, we're going to see some storms develop. We're kind of on that western edge of slight risk and moderate risk. So the storms today are going to be primarily in the east and southeast part of the state. So storms will develop here and then move out quickly. But the thing that I read this morning in the mesoscale discussions that the storms that start here are going to mature here before they move off. So we could still be impacted. So they're saying east of I-35 and the forecast model show us having some stuff from Ponca City all the way to Chandler, so Lincoln County. So
yeah, that's interesting. That kind of mirrors what a college town is. They start here, they mature here, and then they move off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
right.
So that's what we're going to see today, and then honestly tomorrow's going to be 72 with the winds out of the north at about 15. So it'll be a nice day, but it'll be kind of a cool wind day. And then Sunday I've got 76 with the winds out of the south at 2 to 6. So Sunday it might actually be hot a little bit, because we're going to see so much sun. And then Monday 76 with 20% chance. And then Tuesday we see 84 degrees. So yeah. It's going to be warm.
Now I'll ask this for my friend Kyle, who's out there in the lobby, because is it officially time to start putting away our fire stuff?
I think, yeah.
I think we've had our last fire.
I think you're good because
I started that yesterday.
The lowest I see is 55 degrees, and I don't think you'll be starting a fire at 55.
Well, you don't know. So,
well,
it depends if it's cloudy and if it's
the won't be 55 long.
Okay.
So
yeah, if it's in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I think you can probably. I tell you what, I told you, we always try to be safe, right? I'd leave about 4 logs in the house and call it good.
Oh, I got plenty of firewood, but I'm cleaning up the ashes, and you start to clean up stuff, You do all your vacuuming and stuff like that.
Give it another week.
Okay.
Give it another week.
That's easy enough for me to do.
There you go.
Sorry, I can't clean that out because Rob Hill told me not to.
Wait another week, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're really going to see the onset of spring here, so. Hey, we got a pretty good deal going next week. We've had a lot of donations from the community on cloth masks, and we know that as we move forward in our phasing plan, that as we start to allow things to open up, masks are going to be important, right? Early on there was some confusion. Were masks good? Were they bad? They come back and they said masks are good or face coverings are good because it's not protecting you, it's protecting the persons that you're around, right? So I think you'll see may not be mandatory, might be, I don't know, but may not be mandatory, but highly recommended and may be required to visit some stores in the near future. But we've been collecting masks, right? We've asked the community twice now. We've asked them to provide masks for city employees, and man, we got an awesome turnout. In about 2 weeks, we collected about 1,200 masks, and that was enough for every employee to have 2. So we're set there. And then Mayor Joyce said, moving forward, that there may be some people that don't have access to masks or face coverings, right? So he wanted to take up a collection for the community. So we reached back out to the community, to all those seamstresses that had been sewing masks, and we told them, said, moving forward, we would like to collect masks to be able to give out to the community in the future. So somebody that doesn't have access to a face covering, right, a neck gaiter, a bandana, a heavy woven scarf, any type of R95 or a P95 mask, a dust mask, see what else can we think of here, but anything that can cover your nose and your mouth, right?
So I'm not trying to be a smart aleck here. What is the difference in a P95 and an N95?
The rating. So an N95,
the thickness or something like that.
Well, one is, so N95 grabs 95% of the particulates. A P95 is oil based. Okay. So it'll resist chemical.
Okay.
And then an R does something else. And then they have multiple levels of those. So
And the 95 stands for what now?
95 says it'll capture 95% of the particulates.
Okay.
That's the rating in it.
I'm here to learn. That's good.
Yeah. So, and those are the highest level of mask that you can get without going to a full respirator style mask. Right.
Okay.
So, all proven through the CDC. Absolutely what you're supposed to have. Right. So, we're asking people not to wear the N95 mask and save those for the healthcare industry, right? Because those people, they have to wear those masks when they go in and work with patients. So we're trying to save those and reserve those for the healthcare industry and first responders. So we're asking people to wear those face coverings. But in the release that
what are the ones or do you know? I'm putting you on the spot that the ag stores like Stillwater Milling or something for farmers with hay fever or whatever it is, if just out there in the dust and
there
everything.
can be multiple levels.
Could they be N95s though?
They could be.
Okay.
But I think most of the time what you're going to see is just a standard cloth dust mask. You know, the white mask that's got the ridges in it and stuff. That's got the little nose bridge on it with the yellow strap.
See, that's what I have for lawn mowing, and I do have those, but they're not N95s.
They are not N95s.
Because I did check for that.
But this is, you can wear those.
Right.
So that is a face covering that is approved. You can wear a standard dust mask like you would use if you were mowing or whatever outside. Right. So we're saying that those are acceptable. So what we're going to do is, the city manager called me this morning and told me that he placed 2 bags in my office this morning of some more masks. So I don't know what our total count is now, but we had right at 350 masks that had been donated.
That's
some
great.
Adult masks, some child masks, right? So what we're going to do, this is the plan moving forward, is Tuesday, April 28th and Wednesday, April 29th. From 9 to 2, we're going to have a table and 2 employees sitting outside in the front of the police department in the garden, and they are going to have those masks. And you come up, and what they'll do is you just tell them you need a mask, and they'll hand you a mask, and we'll do it until we have no more to give.
Yeah. The notice I saw, they did request that this is if you don't have one and you need it, not for people. It's not for hoarding necessarily.
Right. So. Let's see, I thought I had access. Okay, so we're going to be distributing the face coverings from April 28th, 29th, from 9 to 2 outside in front of the police department. Only those who do not have access to acceptable face coverings are encouraged to pick them up, right? The city will hand them out as long as supplies last. So let me get to where... Okay, acceptable face coverings. So if you want to find a face covering before and try to find something for yourself, it includes R95, the P95, a standard dust mask, a procedural mask, cotton bandanas, neck gaiters, running buffs, tightly woven scarves. Those are all acceptable, right?
So, about everything, really.
Huh?
About everything.
Just about everything, but we're asking that it be 2 layers thick.
Okay.
That is the minimum. It has to be 2 layers thick. So if you're going to wear a bandana,
just double it over.
You got to double it over, right? Surgical masks or N95 masks or respirators are not recommended for the general public because we consider those to be critical supplies that we want to keep for the healthcare workers. So those who have the material at home are encouraged to create their own face coverings. But if you just absolutely do not have access to any type of a face covering, we're gonna give them away as long as supplies last next Tuesday and Wednesday in front of the police department from 9 to 2.
Sounds good.
And if the weather's bad, we'll move that just indoors. So
you got a full plate these days, don't you?
We do. We're constantly working with somebody to set up something, right? So, but that was a very good decision by the mayor to collect those masks because we still had a lot of people, and we are still collecting masks. So if you know how to make cloth masks and you have time and the provisions to do it, and you want to donate and give back to the community, this is the way to do it, right? So, and the plan moving forward is because we like I mentioned earlier, are fearful of maybe a spike or a resurgence, and then maybe even this fall, seeing this come back again, we're going to keep those masks for this same purpose later. Or if there is a need, like at the United Way, and they come up with a group that needs masks that provides free services to the community, we will help them out.
Sounds great. And to reiterate, the way we kind of started our first segment here was as far as opening up. Some towns are today. They're opening up the things that the governor talked about. Stillwater is staying with the recommendation that the mayor had a few weeks ago, and we're staying the course
through the 30th. That's right. Yeah, because we've got to have time to get our phases together.
There you go. So, hey, thanks for all you do.
And just a reminder, council meeting on Monday, on the 27th, they're going to talk about this. So, if you go to Facebook, you can watch it Facebook Live and hear their discussions.
There you go. And also, you can watch the Zoom on Channel 14 on Suddenlink.
That's right.
We will have the mayor on at 8:05 on Monday morning, kind of give a preview of what's going on there and any updates. Appreciate Will being available to us so often. So
absolutely.
Anyway, and thanks to you too. Appreciate that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So have a good weekend. You're back here next Friday, if not before.
Okay.
That sound like a deal?
Absolutely.
There you go. Hey, we'll take a time out. We're back after this. Kyle Ray, Vice President, Oklahoma State University, coming up, and our show brought to you by Simmons Bank.
It's more than just a show. It's community. It's the Stillwater Morning Scramble with Steve Daniels on the Triple Play Sports Radio Network.
Slight chance of an early morning shower. Otherwise, mostly cloudy this morning. Become partly cloudy today with our highs topping out in the upper 60s and 70s. We'll see a cold front arrive.